Okay, we're predicting the NFL Week 5 prediction. So filming is during the afternoon game, so I don't know all the results, although all the afternoon games looks like blowouts right now. But you have your first game, the Bills versus Jaguars in London. I believe the Jaguars are going to be staying in London over the week since they just played against the Falcons this week. Um, so Jaguars London game against Atlanta Falcons. Their defense I thought played really well. They shut down, not really shut down, but they made Ritter go into mistakes. Their pass, I think their defense has been playing really well. Outside of that one game against Houston, they shut down Desmond Ritter passing. They slowed down the run enough, but it's their offense. The Jaguars offense has not figured it out. They did not look great versus the Falcons, but their offense do have potential, but I'm not sure if this is the right game for them to figure out their offense. While the Bills, they're probably coming off their most complete win versus the Dolphins. Josh Allen looked great. I think he only had like what 3 or 4 incompletions. Their running game continues. Did not actually do that good. Now that I think about it, they didn't actually do that good against the Dolphins. But they have been better this season. But it's their Buffalo's defense. Their secondary has been really stingy, but they did lose Tre'Davious White, and I think that's going to be huge for this game. They have a great linebacker, Matt Milano. Poyer should be back in the interior defensive line. Their whole defense just looks great. This one, it's a London game, and Jaguars have big home field advantage staying overseas for the week. And I think that will be enough for the Jaguars to get the win. So I have the Jaguars upsetting the Bills. Then you have the Titans versus the Colts. Colts coming off an OT loss against the Rams, while the Titans coming off a huge win versus the Bengals. Titans defense continues to be good, although the pass defense does leave a little bit to be desired. Um, when Derrick Henry is going, their offense can be good, but I do think Colts defense is good enough to slow down Derrick Henry and force Tannehill to pass. And when that happens, I don't think the Titans' offense is that good. While the Colts, they've been scrappy. Their defense has looked good and bad at times. Anthony Richards has also looked good and bad at times. It's divisional games are hard to predict. I gotta take the Colts. I just don't trust the Titans' offense if Derrick Henry does not get started. Then you have the Steelers versus the Ravens. Ravens coming off a beating of the Browns, while the Steelers got blown out by the Texans. Divisional game is this one's always going to be close regardless. Um, regardless, but the Steelers offense has looked so bad this year. They have been looked horrible. Steelers defense has looked all right, but they did look bad against the Texans. While the Ravens, their offense, even with all those injuries, look good, and their defense has always been good. I gotta take the Ravens here. I think this is going to be one of those rivalry games where it's just not really close. I gotta take the Ravens. Then you have the Jets versus the Broncos. Oh, this is such a sad game. Jets, they play on Sunday Night Football, but so far Zach Wilson's not it. Their defense continues to be good, but they cannot win the game forever. And that showed against the Cowboys and the Patriots. But their offense is so bad. Brees Hall can't get started. While the Broncos, their defense continues to look horrible. They allowed what 21 first half points to the Bears before they tighten up. But I believe the Broncos offense with Russell Wilson, Judy, um, Sutton, and maybe Javante will get the job done. And Broncos have home field advantage, so I gotta take the Broncos here. Then you have the Dolphins versus the Giants. Giants play on Monday night, while the Dolphins coming off a disappointing blowout loss against the Bills. Bills, I think they had the right personnel to um, slow down the Dolphins offense. Tyreek Hill was kept in check. Devon Achane or Achan, however you pronounce his name, had again over 100 yards, but nobody's ever going to talk about that since they lost. Um, Other than that, there was the offensive line could have been better for the Dolphins, although they've been playing pretty good this year. While the Dolphins defense has just not been good this year. However, the Giants, their offense hasn't really been good this year. Saquon is most likely going to be out for this game. Daniel Jones hasn't looked that good, and Giants, they do have a really good defensive line, but their secondary isn't all that. So I gotta take. And Dolphins have home field advantage, so I'm gonna take the Dolphins here. Giants don't have enough talent on their defense to stop the Dolphins. And you have the Falcons versus the Texans. Interesting. I think this one might be an underrated game this year. The Texans, their offense has looked really good, putting up 30 against the Steelers and then 37 against the Jacksonville. Both teams with good defenses. Pierce looked finally did something. Um, Texans defense, they shut down Steelers. Not that hard to do though. Um, While the Falcons, they lost to the Jaguars. Their defense, I think, did fine. I think their pass defense is much improved, but Desmond Ridder cannot throw the ball. Um, Overall, this game, I don't think the Texans run defense can stop the Bijan and the Falcons run game though. And I think the Falcons pass defense has been much improved and will slow down Texans, so I'm going to take the Falcons here. Then you have the Patriots versus Saints. This is going to be such a boring game. I just want to put it out there. Patriots are currently getting blown out by the Cowboys, while the Saints got blown out by the Bucks. Derek Carr was clearly not healthy, so I'm not sure how healthy he's going to be for this game. Kamara looked good for the offense, but the Saints defense it's good, but like I said, not elite. Patriots they still have a good defense, and Mac Jones at least has improved, I guess, from last year. Um, I I think determining factor is that Bill Belichick is a much better coach than Dennis Allen. I'm going to take the Pats here. Then you have the Bengals versus the Cardinals, two teams in completely opposite directions right now. Bengals coming in with big expectations and completely flop, while the Cardinals with no expectation have been playing pretty well to this. Cardinals defense, I think, has been playing pretty well, although not that talented, while their offense looked good at times. Bengals, Burrow has to get healthy. If I was the Bengals, I'd bench Burrow for this game. He has to get healthy. Other than that, the Bengals really just don't have anything going for them on offense. Defense looks fine, but just not that good. Cardinals with home field advantage. I'm predicting the Cardinals upset the Bengals. Then you have the Chiefs versus the Vikings. Vikings finally win a close game versus the Panthers, but Kirk Cousins didn't look that good, but he's been looking good this season. I think the Vikings defense just is not that good. I gotta take the Chiefs here. The Chiefs defense has also looked pretty good. Then you have the Monday night of Raiders versus the Packers. First of all, Raiders do have home field advantage. Um, Packers coming off a mini bye. Jordan Love really did not look good on Thursday night. But Packers defense also didn't look that good. But Raiders, I believe Devontae Adams got injured. I'm not sure if that's gonna affect this game or not. But outside of him, the Raiders just have. I'm not sure if Jimmy G, maybe Aiden O'Connell will have to play, and that's not a good matchup for Aiden because Packers, I do think, still have a pretty good defense. But Raiders don't have a really good defense. I gotta take the Packers here. Then you have a Thursday night, the Commanders versus the Bears. Oh my God, the Bears are right now the worst team in the NFL. They scored on the Broncos defense for one half, and then their defense just shit the bed. Their offense shit the bed. Commanders, at least they got it close against the Eagles. They at least still have a very good defensive line, and their offense looked promising. I'm gonna take the Commanders 10 out of 10 times. Then you have the Lions versus the Panthers. Lions blowing out the Packers, while the Panthers losing to the Vikings. Bryce Young so far is just not it. I think the Lions' pass defense has looked a lot better, and their whole entire defense has looked better, while obviously their offense continues to be good. Panthers, their defense does show some promise, but Bryce Young and that offense is just they gotta change something about that. I gotta take the Lions here. Then you have the Rams versus the Eagles. 100% a trap game for the Eagles. Rams have home field advantage. They've looked good so far, even without talent. Their defense looked all right. Offense most likely getting cut back, but even without him, Puka looks good. Atwell looks good. Stafford injury hopefully won't carry over. But definitely not a trap game for the Eagles. Eagles almost lost to the Commanders, but they still have a great defensive line, which I think will pressure Stafford into an Eagles win. So I gotta take the Eagles here. Then you have the Niners versus the Cowboys. Cowboys currently blowing out the Patriots, while the Niners beating the Cardinals. Niners, they've just looked like the best team. Their defense has looked great with guys like Fred Warner playing all pro level, Nick Bosa. Offense with Debo, Ayuk, Purdy, Kittle. I'm not sure what any team can beat, which team can even beat the Niners, but Dallas for sure is one of them. Their defense is really good with Micah, and their offense looks good against a good Patriots defense right now. But Niners have home field advantage, and Niners just kind of own the Cowboys. I gotta take the Niners here. So there you have it, my NFL Week 5 predictions.